A big part of your life is ending, and this ending is really kind of beginning now. December 10th, Neptune finally turns direct in the sign of Pisces. Neptune is in the last sign of the zodiac and has been moving through the zodiac wheel for a very long period of time. And so Neptune sitting at the 29th degree of Pisces, the final degree of the final sign, is a tremendous shift forward that we are going to experience individually and collectively. Now, the part of your life that is ending, and I want to talk about the retrograde here because Neptune has been in retrograde for the last 5 months in the sign of Pisces, which was creating a lot of confusion, a lot of like fogginess, lack of clarity, lack of direction, difficulties in your personal life. Neptune retrograde in Pisces for the last 5 months has been pretty brutal, to be honest. It has definitely been in like its shadow aspect. And so this shadow has been overcast on your life for the last 5 months. Okay. When Neptune is in retrograde, the way that we can look at this in our personal lives is that it's in its lower vibe state. So it's not in its highest vibrational state, but in its lower vibrational state. And because Neptune is the planet that is connected to like sudden, unexpected, shocking type of changes, revelation, it is also a planet that is connected to illusion, delusion, confusion, fogginess, lack of clarity, all of that, especially when it's in retrograde, when it's in its shadow aspect. This has been the theme of your life for like the last 5 months. So for many of us, we have felt this, it's like someone's been hitting the brakes on your life and you just haven't been able to move forward on certain things. Your life itself hasn't been moving forward. You know, visualizations and manifestations haven't been taking root. They haven't been appearing in the physical. Substance abuse, particularly like drugs and alcohol, actually have a harder hold or like a stronger hold on you during Neptune in Pisces in its retrograde, and their effects are amplified, right? Because Pisces is also a sign of delusion, illusion, deception in its shadow aspect. Of course, Pisces is a very spiritual sign in it. So it's like it has its shadow and its light side. And Pisces and in its lighter aspects are very deeply spiritual. And so is Neptune. When you have two different energies that are both connected to like illusion, delusion, confusion, and fogginess, and then on their shadow and then on their light side, they're connected to like radical transformation and like immense spirituality and positivity and like a very deep connection with the divine, a deep connection with yourself, like mysticism, all of that. This can take us down all kinds of rabbit holes. On the positive side, it'll bring you closer to God. It'll bring you closer to the universe and to yourself. And you'll have this expanded vision within yourself about who you are and that you are a soul and that you came here to have a beautiful experience. So like those are like the lighter aspects. And then on the shadow side, you're going to be completely lost, completely feeling disconnected from God, from spirit, from universe, completely feeling disconnected from life itself, you know, just totally lost in terms of the direction you should be heading in, your purpose, like what you should be doing or focusing on or what your mission is. Like those things just become very unclear. Or if you have clarity on the direction you want to take your life, then you don't know how to get there. That's Neptune retrograde in Pisces. And this is what is now ending on December 10th. While it was in retrograde, it was also bringing up a ton of fears, a ton of paranoia, being worried about things, feeling anxious, feeling depressed. Being hypersensitive too was like a huge theme, and a lot of false perceptions and beliefs holding you back. And you wouldn't have had the clarity to see fully what was holding you back while it was in retrograde, or even if you did have clarity, it was like you just couldn't move past it. You just couldn't move forward. You couldn't overcome those false perceptions, those negative beliefs. It's like they were overriding the positivity that you wanted to cultivate within yourself. They were, I want to say, louder than the positivity within you. So like whatever you had on your vision board, whatever you had set for yourself earlier this year, before maybe Neptune went retrograde, all of those things you would have just been It would have just stagnated. It would have just sat there and you wouldn't have seen any physical, tangible manifestation of those visions. Now, of course, this is not the case for everyone because the world still continues revolving. It still continues to go around, and some people were definitely reaching milestones and were reaching goals and having clarity on their visions and stuff. But I feel like that is a very specific and very personal thing. So it just depends on what your other placements were that were maybe more favorable for you. If that is the case, if you were someone that wasn't struggling through this energy or just everything was flying forward easily for you, then some of the other transits were probably really supporting that for you. Now, with Neptune moving direct in 2 days on December the 10th, this forward momentum is going to basically clear everything I was just talking about. So clarity and direction returns. Yay. The fog finally clears in your life and in your mind about personal matters, things that you've been wanting to move forward. You're just going to have so much more clarity about how to move those things forward. And you're going to feel like the foot is finally off the brakes. It's like whatever this invisible thing was that was like pushing the brakes this whole time for you, you're going to just feel like it releases, and things just suddenly start to flow. Things suddenly start to become easier. So anything that was blocked, anything that was slow moving is now going to finally start moving forward. So forward momentum is getting a huge boost December 10th. So any past dreams, any visions that you've had, those things that you had on your vision board can actually now manifest. They can actually now crystallize and become concrete physical manifestations in your life. So this is an excellent time to dream big. And I mean like obnoxiously big, like really big and bold, and have great visions. Actually creating maybe a brand new vision board right now would be a fabulous thing to do. Writing down specifically what you want to experience moving forward, and then doing so with like a firm belief and a clarity that you're actually going to get it. Because this energy is just expanding. It's like it's opening everything up for you. All those doors that have been closed are now opening up. All those opportunities that you missed are now going to come back around, or new opportunities are going to come back around for you. This is also an excellent time to just get really, really powerful with your declarations, like really declare the kind of person that you are, declare the kind of life that you want to have, the kind of experiences you want to have, and get specific. Like when you make these declarations and you say them every single day, and you stay consistent with declaring every single day with power, with clarity, this is who I am, this is what I want, or this is what I'm receiving. Not even what I want, because the wanting is saying that you don't have it. So instead declare that this is what I have, this is what I'm experiencing, this is what I'm so grateful for, this is what is now entering my life, whatever, fill in the blank. So get into this habit right now, especially from December 10th onward, but even immediately, get into this habit of making bold declarations about the new identity that you want to have, to not only have, but to embody. Who are you? Who is the most successful version of yourself? Who is the most powerful version of yourself? How do they talk? How do they walk? How are you going to command the universe to deliver all of those things that have just been sitting on the back burner forever and ever for you? Like all of those things that you have wanted, maybe didn't receive, especially while Neptune was retrograding in Pisces. What are you going to start declaring? Because a part of your life is now over. It is completely over. And I'm telling you, this is like a point of no return. There is a past version of yourself that has now expired, that is now no longer able to play the game. Okay, you are actually required and being asked by Neptune in Pisces, moving direct in a couple of days, to get very, very clear on your new identity. Who are you? Who is this new version of yourself? And what kind of a life does this new version of yourself live? Whether you believe that you can have this or don't believe you can have this, you have to start declaring it, because only then are you going to start rewriting those subconscious programs and actually get into the belief that this is my new life. This is my new identity. This is who I claim myself to be. There's so much power behind this. And I'm going to talk about power in a minute, because I had a very, very powerful dream, actually a very interesting dream, and I felt really called to share it. So I want to talk about power in just a moment, but I just wanted to quickly mention that Neptune is also going to be conjunct Saturn very, very soon. And what that means, a conjunction is when they buddy up, right? When two planets come close to each other. And when Neptune is buddying up with Saturn, Saturn is the tangible physical reality, okay? Saturn is the crystallization of Neptune, the dream, right? Because Neptune is connected to our dreams and our visions. And so the two come together and literally bring into physical manifestation the dream, the vision that you have had for maybe a really long time, or maybe all of this year. And now you're going to realize, and you're going to have this like tremendous clarity around the old you. There's going to be this tangible separation, and you're just going to know and feel the difference between like, wow, that's an old version of me, and that is someone I don't want to be anymore. That is someone I actually refuse to be. I don't want to embody those characteristics, that personality, that mindset, that belief system. You're going to feel this like separation within yourself. And I think you're already feeling it, because that's why I'm sharing this message. You just are no longer who you used to be. You are a completely new person. And this is the opportunity or the time right now to refine the details of your identity. This new identity, this new version of yourself. And it's also about like really getting into like daily habits and daily practices that signal to your brain that this is who I am now. That means you dress the part, you look the part, and you do everything in your power to feel the part. So does that mean changing your diet and maybe eating more clean because the new version of yourself is healthy, is joyful, is happy, she's balanced or he's balanced, feels really good about themselves, feels very confident, feels very attractive? What are you going to do to embody those characteristics? And what do you need to do on a daily basis to emulate that, to become that? Does that mean you got to change your diet and eat cleaner? Probably. Does that mean you need to start dressing a bit better and stop dressing so schlumpy and effortless, like you're just kind of throwing stuff on for comfort? Yeah, that's what that means. It's going to require you to take some form of action that is going to signal not only to the universe, but to yourself, to your subconscious mind, that this is who I am now. Because you're no longer the old. That's it. That's done. Like you're just no longer that old version of yourself. You are going to continue shedding parts of that old version of yourself. And so the full embodiment of your new identity is going to continue. You're going to need to continue solidifying that basically until like February, mid-February, March, when the year of the snake ends, because until we're in the year of the snake, you're going to continue this shedding process. You're going to fully like blossom, like you're going to fully step into becoming this brand new version of yourself who is more health conscious, who is more mindful of their habits, of how they are showing up for themselves on a daily basis. The mindset that they choose to have on a daily basis, whether they're focusing on lack or whether they're focusing on abundance. There's just going to be so much more awareness, so much more clarity. You're just going to see it clearly. Wow, that's how I was holding myself back. Wow, that's how I was screwing myself over. That's how I wasn't allowing myself to move forward. I kept playing small. I kept feeling like I wasn't good enough. I kept feeling like I just needed to put up with this a little bit longer, or like I wanted to move out of a situation, but I just kind of couldn't. Like I was sort of stuck, or I felt really stuck in the situation. I felt powerless, right? There's just this super real and super obvious realization of like how you have been holding yourself back, and moving forward, you're just not going to resonate with those actions. You're just not going to resonate with that type of behavior anymore, because that old identity is completely dying and shedding. You are literally reconstructing and rebuilding your identity as we speak. And Neptune moving forward in Pisces, and Neptune forward is only going to be happening from December 10th. It turns direct, and it's going to stay in Pisces until January 26th of 2026. And then after that, it's going into Aries. It's starting a brand new cycle in the zodiac. Neptune is beginning a brand new cycle. And once we enter Aries, once Neptune enters Aries, holy shit, that's when things are really, really going to take off. So everything that we're doing right now, everything that you're moving through right now is like preparation for this massive upgrade, for this massive manifestation, this massive calling in the new. This is a brand new life, a brand new identity, a brand new personality, a brand new mindset, a brand new belief system. This is big. Like you are completely transforming, completely coming out of the cocoon. And with Neptune direct now, remember I said Neptune has to do with like shock and awe and unexpected surprises, things unexpectedly or very rapidly showing up or changing in your life. Well, this means like shocking life reversals. So if you've been in a very difficult chapter, especially for the last 14 years of your life, think about the last 14 years because that's how long Neptune has been in Pisces. How has the last 14 years of your life played out? I know for me personally, it was a beige. It was really hard. Like the last 14 years of my life were probably the hardest. So I'm super excited for Neptune to be leaving the sign of Pisces because yeah, that's enough of that. So there's this brand new cycle that we're all beginning collectively, that we're all beginning individually, that is going to be so rich and open and expansive. It's like it's in Aries, the sign of self, the sign of forward momentum, the sign that takes action, bold action, daring action. Aries just is the ram. It just charges forward. So these are like shocking changes for the better that are basically coming. I'm going to say even now, between now and January 26th, there are massive potentials, especially if you're in alignment, especially if you've already been doing massive identity work and massive shedding and peeling back all the layers and getting rid of all these old versions of yourself and outdated versions of yourself, getting rid of all the fear and the anxiety and the illusions, that have been holding you back. Then even in this period, you're going to start experiencing shocking changes moving forward. But like come January, like sky's the limit. So now my dream. Let me just talk about that quickly because the message, like I said, was really, really important. And I know when I receive these dreams, I'm meant to share some of the insights that I gain from them. So the dream was essentially about moving through portals. That's what I was seeing. It was about moving through portals. So there was a situation where a person was experiencing being in the wrong location and the wrong house, the wrong home. Okay. And they really, really wanted to get home. And like, I'm at the right address, but the house doesn't look like my home and the location doesn't look like my home. And so this person was like freaking out and they just kept saying over and over, like, this isn't my place. This isn't my place. And they were like crying and they were like, I want to go home. I want to go home. And then somebody came and was like, okay, don't worry. There's a portal opening and you can go through the portal and that portal will get you home. So this person walks through the portal, jumps into the portal. And the visual was like so cool on this. It was so sci-fi. But anyway, they went through the portal and it was like they boomeranged and they were shot back to exactly the same location, the same place that they were trying to leave. And so they were like, what the heck? Like, I just went through the portal that was supposed to take me home. And now instead of going home, it shot me back to here. And then this person like continued freaking out and they were continuing to be upset. And the message behind the dream, the meaning behind it, because as soon as I woke up, it was like spirit immediately like delivered the meaning of the dream. And the meaning was that as long as you were in fear, false evidence appearing real. Okay, let's remember that. As long as you are in fear, you are going to continue looping in a cycle that is repetitive. You are going to continue looping through a portal that always boomerangs you back to the same place of where you are. If you cannot accept where you are and can't fall in love with where you are and just surrender to where you are and be happy and say, let's make the best of whatever I've got right now, instead of trying to frantically like leave or search for something better, what if I accepted and loved where I was and just looked at the best way to make the current reality the best it can be and find things to appreciate about that reality? That's what essentially is breaking the fear loop and it breaks this boomerang effect of moving around in basically the same cycle, moving through the same portal over and over and over, which the portal was like a fear portal, and fear was what locked this portal in place, and this individual wasn't able to get out. They kept like looping in it over and over, and I was just observing and watching, and I was just like, whoa, this is so crazy. And the only way out of this portal and the only way to like break this pattern was to become completely fearless. So this woman came and she says to this person that if you want to go home, and to me, home was like the true life, like that blissful, beautiful, fulfilling life that this individual was looking to experience. This woman said, if you want to go home, you have to break the fear cycle, this karmic cycle of fear. You have to become completely fearless by standing in your power and commanding your reality. And so she starts teaching this person how to command their reality and how to tell their reality what's going to happen next, instead of the reality locking them in and looping them in this fear cycle. Because the reality was that this person was freaking out because the house they were in was not their home, and they were trying to get home. And it was like Groundhog Day. Like, they couldn't leave this property. They couldn't leave this house. And it was interesting because the house was very big. It was like, it had like at least 3 stories. It was a very tall, sort of slender house. And on the inside, it was quite dark. So the floors were dark. The walls were kind of dark. Everything inside was kind of dark and dingy. Even though there was windows and there was some natural light coming through the windows, the spaces were still very dark. So it was very interesting and very symbolic of how fear causes darkness within us, right? It disconnects us from our own light, from our own wisdom, from our own power. When you think about the power center in your body, it's yellow. It's called the internal sun. So your power center is your internal sun. It is what brings light into your life. So I just thought that was very interesting, and I really, really wanted to share that because I know I had it. I had it literally probably an hour before I woke up, this dream. So when I have dreams right before I wake up, it's always because I'm meant to share them, or there's something really valuable. There's a message. There's some kind of symbolism within that dream. So I wanted to share that because I feel like I'm like, oh my God, this ties in so beautifully and so perfectly with this Neptune moving direct in Pisces energy, because that's what we're doing. We're moving forward. And in order to move forward, connecting back to the dream, you have to eliminate fear. You have to stop being afraid. You have to stop being afraid of your own power. You have to stop being afraid of your new chapter. You have to stop being afraid of the unknown. You have to stop being afraid of letting somebody into your life. You have to stop being afraid of healing. You have to stop being afraid of letting that addiction go. Whatever it is that you are afraid of that is holding you back, that is now what is ending. And it requires your participation by stepping out of fear and stepping back into your power. And I know that for some people, this might be a process. This might be something that will require daily steps. Every single day, how can you step more into your power? How can you become more disciplined when it comes to showing up for yourself more? How can you become more disciplined about keeping your own promises to yourself? So when you say to yourself, I'm going to stop doing this bad habit because I know it's bad for me and it's not good for my body, whether that's eating a lot of processed foods or junk food or over consumption of any kind, whether it's cigarettes or alcohol or drugs or whatever it may be, anything that's overdone, right? And overconsumption of any kind. That requires discipline. Like, you have to start saying no to it on a daily basis, little by little, so that you can completely get detached from it and start releasing it out of your energy field, out of your system, right? Your body literally has to detox from it. And I've been talking about detoxing here on this channel for a while. I myself am moving through a detox right now, and it's just, wow, like the clarity, the energy level increase, and like all the positive experiences I'm having because of this detox I'm doing right now is like, it's pretty magical. It's really powerful, and I can tell the difference that it's making. Like, I completely cut out sugar. And I thought it was going to be hard. And to be honest with you, I'm finding the cravings are just like dissipating more and more and more. So there's like less and less craving for it. Even yesterday, I did my big grocery haul, and it was awesome. I was so proud of myself. And I just walked by those cookies and I was like, nah, we're not messing up the progress we're making here. So it was easy to say no. And I'm finding it's easier and easier to say no because I'm becoming better and better about my personal discipline, about not breaking promises to myself. I have certain health goals that I want to reach by January, and I'm not caving in. It's not worth it. And I just know that that's like the old version of me who would have had no self-control, and the new version of me is significantly more empowered and has way more discipline and just won't give in to those kind of things anymore. So yeah, so I was able to walk past all the junk food aisles without any problem whatsoever, and literally filled my cart with 99% vegetables. It was awesome. So that's just one example, of the ways that we're going to be moving forward and what is necessary for you to step into this new identity, this better version of yourself. Practice discipline, self-discipline every single day, because when you start looking at self-discipline as a form of self-love and you say, you know what, I'm doing this because I'm committed to my growth, I'm committed to my health, I'm committed to my fitness, to whatever, or if it comes to like business, I'm committed to showing up on a regular basis for my business that I'm trying to grow, XYZ, whatever it is for you. That commitment is, I'm telling you, with this forward momentum starting December 10th, this is going to be life-changing. It's like the universe is really going to reward you for putting in the time, for putting in the power, I was going to say, for putting in that power, for stepping into your power, and for choosing to commit. The universe is going to reward you. And like I said, this is going to come in shocking, rapid, unexpected ways. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I'm wishing you a beautiful day. The Ascension Guide link is in the description box below. You can click the link and read more about understanding your personal ascension and how we are collectively, all of us together, ascending. And I'm talking about Neptune actually in Pisces and in Aries in the guide. The ways in which you can accelerate your ascension, the things that you need to do to level up faster. You will also discover your Chinese zodiac sign, and you're also going to discover your personal year number. So we are in a universal 9 year, right? 2025 adds up to a 9 broken down to a single digit. And your personal year is also going to be in there, and how to calculate that using your birthday. So if you're interested in that guide, if you want to accelerate your own growth and just have a tool that you can go to figure out in what ways you're going to be needing to grow, in what ways you're going to need to pivot internally within yourself, then this guide is for you. Check it out. You will also find a link there to work with me if you would like to book a one-on-one coaching session. That is all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in the next video.